It is time for part 3 of the mystery crochet along. So this is how far you've come for part 2. It's time for part 3. You're going to do 2 more techniques in part 3. One is corner to corner and one is fillet crochet. So those are really fun. And as you may have guessed now or probably seen, this is a bag. Now, we also have a pocket, which is the corner to corner right here. And then we have this part right here, which is the fillet crochet. So here's the thing though. I didn't add a bag handle for it because I wanted you to have the freedom to pick whatever you want. You could use the knit look technique again to create a bag handle. You can do it here on the outside to do like a, over the shoulder bag. You could also do it here in the center, and then you just have 2 loops on either side, so it's like a handbag. It is up to you. I wanted you to have the freedom however you wanted to finish this bag. You can also add a zipper into it. Because I used a thicker texture for the entire project, you don't have to add a lining if you don't wish to do so. You can simply sew on your zipper if you wanted to. So I'm going to put my skein of yarn in here so I can transport it in my bag and nothing gets collapsed. You know when you have your yarn and you pull it from the center out, right? And then your yarn kind of shrinks and kind of collapses. Well, this little mesh bag is going to hold your yarn in place, so you won't have to worry about it. But you can of course use it also for anything else you wish, like your bottle or any other things. It also is great to add some stitch markers because, the mesh is great for that. So now let's actually crochet this. But because it's white and I have a white background, it's going to be hard to see. So I'm going to show it to you in the light purple. So quick little project for the pocket right here. I'm just going to show you how to start it and how to finish it. So I'll make a smaller version of this and I'll show you how to get started on this, and then you're just going to finish it on your own. So let's go. Let's start with the corner to corner first, but feel free to do the half double crochet version if you wish. So we're going to chain 6. Now going into the first, second, and third chain that you made, you're going to crochet a double crochet right into it in each of them. So you're going to skip the other 3 right here. Now that means you made your very first pixel. You will have in the written pattern a pixel graph so that you know exactly how many pixels you're going to crochet for this. So this is your very first pixel out of the entire project. So now you're going to chain 3 and then chain 3 again. So that's 6 in total. You're now going to chain 6. And every time you're doing an increase in corner to corner, you're going to crochet 6. Now go into the first, second, and third chain that you made and crochet a double crochet into it. Now flip your pixel over, the very first one, and connect your second one to the first into that chain. Is this right here where the 3 chains were? So slip stitch right into it. And now you have them connected. So now we're in the middle of a corner to corner project, not on the edge. So we're in the center of it here. So that means we're going to chain 3 instead of 6. Now place 3 double crochets right into that chain space. Now you finished your second row. As you can tell, these are diagonal rows. And now we're going to keep going. I'm going to do one more row. So that means if you're doing an increase, we are doing that. We're going to do a chain of 6. Place a double crochet into the first, second, and third. And now you're going to flip your project so that your last pixel is connected to the one that you did previously. Slip stitch right into that chain space. Again, you're in the middle of a row. You're not on the edge. So that means you're doing a chain of 3 and doing 3 double crochets into that chain space. Now connected to the next pixel, We are still not on the edge of the project, so that means again chain of 3, and now 3 double crochets into the same chain space. So you're going to do a little bit more. You're going to go until you have 5 pixels here on each side. Then you're going to do a decrease. So I'm just going to stop right here. I did 3, so you have to do 2 more diagonal rows, and then we're going to do the decrease. Okay, so I'm going to show you now how to do the decrease. This entire corner to corner project is 5 times 5, so 5 pixels times 5 pixels. So let's say you did your 5 rows there. So now it's time to do a decrease. So if you're doing decreases, you're going to slip stitch 3 times. Okay, so into each stitch here, 1, 2, and 3. That goes into the chain space right there. So now you're going to do a chain of 3. So when you do decreases, you don't have any more chain of 6. So now you do your double crochets right into the chain space as before, slip stitch to the next pixel, again chain of 3, and double crochet 3 times into the same chain space. Now slip stitch again, and we're also decreasing on this side, so that means you're going to turn and now slip stitch into those stitches that you just made, and now chain of 3, and then last one for my little project here, 3 double crochets into that chain space, and then 1 more slip stitch. At this point I actually recommend that you slip stitch to that corner, because that way it is ready to go to sew onto your bag. So you're going to make this yarn a little longer, so the yarn end, so that you can sew all the way around here on 3 edges. Now weave this in 2, so that way you have your pocket on the top side. So my little one is a little bit smaller. That's fine. This was just to teach you how to do corner to corner. Yours is a little bit bigger, so it gives you a little bit more practice. Now let me show you how to do the filet crochet part. So again, I'm going to use the purple even though you're using the white. Now feel free to use the purple if you wanted to and you have enough left over. But I'm going to use the white for my actual mesh because neutral color is great for this. But for the video tutorial, because white is hard to see, I'm going to use my purple here. So make a magic ring. Then chain 1, and we're going to do an alternative turning chain. So that is a stacked single crochet. It counts as a double crochet. That's what I like to do. Now feel free to do something different. You can do a chain of 2 and not count it, or you can do a chain of 3 and count it, but I prefer the alternative turning chain. So you're going to do a single crochet, and then you insert it onto that loop that is closest to your yarn finger. So for the lefties, it will be the other way around, right? So insert it, yarn over and pull through, and now finish it up like another single crochet. So it's a stacked single crochet. That way we have a V here on the top, and that's what I'm going to use to do the slip stitch. So this counts as a double crochet. Now you're going to add 11 more double crochet stitches here so you're going to have 12 stitches in total. And then you're going to slip stitch to the first stitch, which for me was the alternative turning chain. Once you have 12 stitches, you're going to close up your ring. You can weave in your ends already if you wish. And you're going to do your slip stitch. I prefer doing the invisible way, so I'm going to go through, like let go of my loop, go from the back to the front, and pull that loop to the back. Adjust your yarn a little bit, and now we're going to go into the actual filet crochet part of it, but we're doing an increase. So what does that mean? So typically you would do 2 stitches per stitch, but we're going to do 1 stitch and a chain, and the chain counts as a stitch. So we're going to start again with the alternative turning chain. And so I have a single crochet and then put another single crochet right on top, therefore stacked, and it counts as a double crochet. Now chain 1 counts as a stitch, going into the next stitch and place a double crochet and also a chain of 1. Next stitch again, double crochet and a chain of 1. Double crochet, chain of 1. Do that all the way around. You should end up with 12 double crochet stitches. One of them is the alternative turning chain, and 12 chains. Then do your invisible slip stitch. It will look like this now. And now we're doing one more row of increases. So this may be a little bit challenging. So you have to kind of think this through, and you know exactly how you typically would do this, but this is replacing one of the stitches into a chain. Okay. So let me walk you through it. So we're going to start again with an alternative turning chain right on top of the previous one. So in a normal way, in the second round for a double crochet, you would do 1 stitch and then 2 stitches, right? So that means the very first stitch here is an alternative turning chain, so double crochet. Next stitch would be 2 double crochets right into that chain, but one of them is now a chain. So let's do that. So 1 chain that counts as a stitch, and into that chain space, place 1 double crochet. So the next stitch would be either a stitch or a chain. So in this case, it's a chain. In the next stitch, you have 2 double crochets you would typically put. But here, we're going to do 1 double crochet and 1 chain. Now in the next stitch, we're going to place a double crochet. So at this point, you're actually starting over. So you're starting over what we just did, okay? So you did this section, and you're repeating that section all the way around. So as you can see, I did a double crochet now. The next stitch, there should be 2 stitches, but one of them is a chain. So chain 1. After every double crochet is a chain, okay? And then 1 more double crochet in that chain space. Next one would be 1 stitch, but we're doing a chain. In the next stitch, we have 1 double crochet and a chain. And the next stitch, again, 1 double crochet. So repeat that sequence all the way around. Remember, I have the written pattern on my website as well as in my membership. My membership has it ad-free. So now we're done with the increases, and now we're going to the fun part that's actually much easier. So you're going to place an alternative turning chain on top of the alternative turning chain, and now chain 1, and now every time you see a double crochet, you're placing a double crochet, and every time you see a chain, you're going to place a chain. Now again, double crochet, chain, double crochet, chain, and now keep on going. So this is the easy part now. Once you're done, you're going to do 12 more rounds just like it. And if you're curious, this is a 3-stitch filet crochet where you have 1 double crochet, a chain of 1, which counts as a stitch, and another stitch. And that overlaps with the next sequence. So you could have that entire thing as a pixel I didn't make it as a pixel I found it much easier to have just written down, but you could have done that. Now here all the way on the top, there's a few different ways so you can close it. This is an I-cord that you do with 2 strands of yarn, and then I just wove it through the last round right here. You can also use a cord. You can also just use a string of yarn. I will let you decide on this part. I have a tutorial for this separately, so if you want to check that out, go for it. Whatever you want to use for this, that is totally up to you. You choose. So you now finished this mystery crochet along project. Obviously, you can see that it was much easier to guess what the main project is. However, I wanted to focus more on the surprises of the different techniques. I wanted to guide you through of all the techniques that we kind of talked about all year long. Every month I have a different mystery crochet along, as you probably know if you have attended all of them. So in every single one, we have kind of a different technique. Sometimes I focus more on the project. So for example, we had a hat mystery crochet along, but most of the time we focused on techniques. So filet crochet, mosaic, knit look, linked crochet, thermal crochet, corner to corner, but there's so many more different techniques. I just wanted to summarize some of my favorite ones and then let you choose on how to finish your project for yourself. Now, of course, you can also turn this one into just a little pouch instead of a bag. It is totally up to you. One more quick little reminder that the written pattern is on my website as with ads, and it is ad-free in my membership. If you are watching this during the actual Mystery Crochet Along, remember that tomorrow is a very special event. Not only would I love to see your finished projects, make sure you submit them on time, but we also have our crochet party, and this one is different, really different. So I hope you're going to join our crochet party. It's going to happen at 12 here on my YouTube channel. It's also going to be on Facebook, on my Facebook page, as well as my Facebook group. I have the links down below for that. So hopefully you're going to join the crochet party for that. That's going to be a huge thing. Trust me, you're going to want to be there. Be sure to like, comment, and share this video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and turn on the bell to get a notification the next time I publish a new video or go live. I hope to see you for the next video or next video series. Remember, I have the entire series in one playlist. I hope to see you next time. Bye!